this evolution of you isn't going to be all rainbows and butterflies and sunshine and flowers. It can be pretty uncomfortable at times because you're shifting away from who you thought you had to be to who you authentically are. So it's like you're shaking off, kind of feels maybe like an avalanche, shaking off that caked on, baked on personality traits, conditioning, all of that, like peeling the layers of the onion away to reveal who's actually underneath it all. So, to the core of who you are and who you're meant to be, who you are before everyone else told you what to be. So, when you're shaking off, you think of an avalanche, it feels like, and it is, destruction in a way, where it's peeling away all kinds of things. It's shaking off what isn't going to be there anymore. So that sometimes feels a little uncomfortable, concerning, like what is happening to me? I'm starting to see things in a different way. I'm starting to feel things more. I'm starting to really, really feel my true feelings. And so when you're honoring that, you have to really go with the flow of whatever is trying to leave you and really allow these things to fall away. So, some way that you used to think about something, maybe your perspective is shifting on that. Maybe there's some trauma from your past that you've been carrying around with you like a bag of rocks that hasn't been serving you, and it's been your story. So, it's been your story for so long that once you decide, because that's all it takes is a decision, it's a choice to drop it and leave it be. You don't have to let it go and say, all this trauma that happened to me, that was totally okay. You don't have to say that, but what you can do is say, okay, what happened to me from the past is behind me now. And what I choose to do from this point forward is to leave it be and be who I am from this point forward. I have that power, and how I perceive it is my choice. So your perception is everything in the healing process. So if you're seeing an avalanche of things falling off you, and you're like, wait, no, stop. I don't want to let that go. I don't want to be without that story, then it's going to be even more uncomfortable for you. But if you're like, okay, I see these things are falling away from me, things are coming to the surface, feelings are coming up, explosive feelings, intense, deep feelings are coming up. I'm starting to remember something that I suppressed, maybe. What's happening is that you're honoring it, you're seeing it, and you're saying, okay, I choose to move forward without letting this be my story that I carry forward. So what I'm trying to say is allow the earth-shattering feelings to come up and out. Let it flow. Allow yourself to have that process of what they call the healing crisis. So sometimes things have to feel more intense and feel worse before they can get better. And it's not always comfortable. So trusting in the process, trusting in the flow, trusting in your decision to move forward without it. And it takes a little time to find your footing in that new energy. All those traumas, all those old patterns of thought that were creating problems for you, all of those habits, relationship patterns, things like that, cycles that were always on repeat, once you set yourself free of those, like, because those were all dense energies you were carrying around, this, like I said, a bag of rocks. So once you let go of that bag of rocks, you're like, whoa, you have to kind of find your footing, because the energy is going to be different. The energy of your life is going to be different. The energy of who you are and how you navigate things is going to feel different. And it takes a little bit of time, and it can feel confusing because you're so used to being in that dense energy. So once you set yourself free of it, suddenly things feel different, and your friends are evolving and you're evolving to different experiences and stuff. So it's like Alice in Wonderland kind of thing, like, where am I? I'm encountering all these different things now, and I didn't allow myself to experience these things before. So it takes a bit to find your footing. And, when you're used to telling the same story over and over again, suddenly you're like, I'm not going to let that story rule my life anymore. It's like, what do I do now? What do I talk about now? So it just takes some time. It takes some time to get comfortable with who you are, unapologetically being yourself. It takes some time to navigate the feelings of the energy shift that you've just experienced. But it's all good. And it's just like the whole birth process. It has to feel, more intense, and then there's that sweet release. It's kind of like that. The more intense those feelings are, the more you know that you're getting closer to that whole big release. And then you're free, and you're free of it, and you're free to be you, and you always were, and you're realizing that, and you're more at peace because you've chosen to be.